Traveling through time or matter may sound like a far-fetched theory until evidence such as these start coming to light. Today's video is all about some of the documented cases of teleportation and time travel. A driver with a recording dashcam was heading out for work when on the way he noticed the sudden appearance of a man in the middle of the traffic. It's clear just from the very first glimpse of the footage that the man either randomly or willingly spawned at the near side of a moving pickup truck in traffic. As the footage gained traction, many called it paranormal activity. Super speed rescue. A man who was distracted while crossing the road, not knowing of an oncoming car. Only a moment just before this would about to turn into a terrible tragedy until a man came sprinting, opened up a teleporting portal just beneath the unsuspecting, soon-to-be victim, and pulled in. They both can then be seen on the other side of the footpath, much further away from the camera, but visible and in the single frame. Snapped out of reality. A doorbell camera captured a shocking moment where soon after a delivery man made the delivery disappear. Poof, just like that. Now this looks like an actual abduction, since as soon as he disappears, the phone drops down and onto the ground. With no portal openings or any sign of teleportation, it's clear that the man was snapped out of reality, probably by some dark voodoo black magic. After all, life would have been much earlier for the mailman if he could teleport. Existence turned off. A man who was being filmed by his colleague while taking a walk in the park until 1 second that he was there disappeared in the other.
What the fuck?
Just by looking at the moment, it almost looks as if the man wasn't taken or disappeared on his own, rather was deleted out of existence. Caught on tape. A strange video recently surfaced online showing a young boy casually walking down the street before suddenly vanishing without a trace. The footage captures him glancing back over his shoulder, then disappearing in a flash of light, leaving viewers questioning what they witnessed. Was it a camera glitch, clever editing, or could the boy be a time traveler slipping between dimensions? The internet quickly filled with theories. Some claiming it's a well-crafted hoax, others believing he might be fleeing from the future or escaping something unknown. Regardless, the video continues to fuel debates about the nature of time and reality. Active portal opening. Seeing an open portal like this could take you anywhere from a couple of blocks away to another dimension.
It's a teleportation to get to other planets. Right here, right now in Sydney.
A pedestrian on the road in Sydney, Australia, filmed a short clip showing a large bluish glowy opening by a fenced wishing pond. According to the recorder, this was an active portal to another planet, which he claimed to have seen and experimented with by dropping some spare change inside it.
Right now in Sydney.
Appearing from thin air. A security guard, while on duty, noticed a man who just randomly appeared out of thin air and was casually continuing his journey like nothing special happened. With exactly no portal opening of any kind or disturbance in the area, even the possibility of time travel is ruled out. Considering how far technological innovation has reached, perhaps this is a possible explanation. Either this man was exiting some invisible hidden vehicle, or he must have been wearing a cloak that got him invisible. Much of the viewers believe the latter to be the case here. Portal or time travel? While reviewing a CCTV camera placed on a street in Nepal, the security guard in charge was shocked to notice this. On the busy street within the blink of an eye, a portal opened with a kid appearing stepping out, and then it closed and disappeared. All of this happened in a fraction of a second. The fact that a kid arrived in it, could it be possible that he mistakenly passed through a portal, either from one place to another, or perhaps even time traveled? Sudden disappearance. A parking lot security camera in Singapore caught what first looked like some ordinary woman who appeared. Standing beside an approaching car, it almost seems as if she were either asking for a ride or confronting the driver. As she walked a couple of paces towards the door, she suddenly started to phase out before disappearing. Now, although many are under the impression that this was a ghost, if not an optical illusion, but considering the detailed physical signature, she looks very real. One of the theories even highlighted that she must have been time traveling, but her device may have malfunctioned. Slip of dimensional travel. This is another case of a person appearing in the middle of the road all of a sudden. A dash cam of a preceding vehicle caught a moment where an SUV attempted to dodge something, which turned out to be a man before the vehicle got into an accident. Now, it wasn't just that this teleporting man was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Rather, it seemed to have been dropped, if not may have accidentally slipped. Despite the driver of the vehicle being confused and understandably enraged, the teleporting perpetrator walks away like nothing happened. Hooded time traveler. Traveling through space and time might sound like pure science fiction until a strange piece of footage began making the rounds. A backyard CCTV camera recorded a mysterious hooded figure wandering around aimlessly before reaching out and grabbing an unseen object. Whatever it was, it emitted several intense flashes of light, bright enough for the camera to capture them clearly even in broad daylight. Moments later, the hooded man vanished without a trace, taking the device with him. The entire scene carries an eerie resemblance to something straight out of a time travel story. Superhero Good Samaritan. A blind woman who was crossing the road with a baby stroller, not knowing of a vehicle that was approaching. It was only until the vehicle came very close that by the sound she realized, but was too late to do anything, especially since even the car didn't come to a halt. At this very moment, a Good Samaritan appeared with lightning speed and was able to not only grab the woman, but her baby as well, and rescue her from what could have turned into a terrible tragedy. This is by far another very similar incident, showing a man just as similar to fictional DC character Flash. Hospital disappearing. A security camera in the clinical department of a hospital recorded a bizarre moment when much of the staff, along with the patients, suddenly disappeared. In one moment, they can be seen peacefully going about their business until a handful of them disappear, almost as if someone moving at a lightning speed grabbed them all and sprinted away within a millisecond. The remainder of the staff and patients soon after look confused for a moment before they start to panic, which further validates that this was the case. Teleporting trial. In a bizarre incident captured by a dashboard camera in Russia on May 5th, 2012, a man seemingly appears out of nowhere in the middle of a busy road, forcing a lorry to swerve sharply to avoid hitting him. The man, dressed in a long lab coat and black boots, appears dazed and slowly walks to the roadside without looking around. The lorry driver, visibly shaken, pulls over to investigate. The footage, which resurfaced on YouTube, has sparked speculation that the man teleported, fueling wild theories that Russia may be experimenting with advanced science fiction-like technology involving teleportation. Appeared from nowhere. Imagine you're playing sports and about to score just when an extra player of the opposing team appears out of nowhere. A TikToker, while filming a basketball game, captured a very bizarre moment where a player from the other team suddenly appeared jumping. The man with the ball, however, was able to see it in time and dodge. Could it be that the basketball player was using some kind of disappearing and reappearing device to cheat just to try and win the game? Interdimensional travel. Aside from opening portals, time traveling, and teleportations, there is also sorcery that can sometimes come in play. A restaurant CCTV camera that was pointed towards the alleyway caught a bizarre moment around midday, showing a very tall Frankenstein figure wearing some kind of sorcerer robes who disappeared just as quickly as appearing just by walking into the fence. An elderly woman who, after crossing paths with it, witnesses the spectacle attempts to follow. By the looks of it all, it's clear that sorcery may have been the way out here. Flew past by. This parking building surveillance camera is the first of its kind that picked the supersonic movement of what looks to be a fly humanoid. In the footage, just as a man was returning after shooting experience a moment where a figure flew past by setting off alarms of several of the cars that were parked. A slow motion of the clip showed this. Could this be an actual Superman, or perhaps just a man in some suit who may have been actively teleporting? Live camera disappearance. During a live interview broadcast of a sports player in an airport, a peeping suddenly disappeared. Although she was dressed an ordinary passenger, but looked to be wishing everyone a safe journey until she herself disappeared. No one around noticed this at that time, but viewers and one of hosts sure did. Considering how she disappeared, using the span of a person walking in between her and the camera almost feels if this was pre-planned than an accident. Teleporting deer. Whenever deer wander onto the street, they usually either make it safely to the other side of the forest or end up getting hit. But in one unusual case, something entirely different happened. A deer suddenly appeared on the road, clearly startled, as was the driver of an approaching car. In a moment of shared panic, the deer abruptly vanished into thin air, seemingly merging with the aluminum roadside barrier. The car's dash cam captured the entire strange incident on video. Alien woman. A young woman who accidentally dropped and lost her key got so frustrated by it that she broke cover. Using just one of her hands, she is able to lift up like it was a nothing. As the CCTV camera make it to the internet, though some started calling her Superwoman, others believe that she could be an alien or a shapeshifter that came into this dimension by some kind of space traveling. Teleporting dog. If the dog had teleported or appeared on the motorway just 1 second earlier, it could have ended disastrously. In January 2015, while footage of 2 race cars was being filmed on an empty motorway in Chile, a dog suddenly appeared right after the vehicle sped past the cameraman. The video clearly shows the dog seemingly materializing out of nowhere in the middle of the road, as if it had been teleported or spawned. So where did the dog come from? If it had already been standing there, it's incredible that both cars managed to avoid hitting it. Ghost car. A dash cam in Russia captured a baffling incident at a busy intersection where a car seemingly materializes out of thin air during a left turn. No collisions occur, but a nearby BMW narrowly avoids contact. The driver filming lets out a startled scream, clearly shaken. The mysterious vehicle has since been dubbed the ghost car online. There's no confirmation the footage was altered, yet thousands remain unsettled. The car's sudden appearance remains unexplained, sparking debate and fascination. With no clear answers, many are left wondering, was it a glitch, a trick of light, or something else entirely? The mystery remains unsolved. Glitching teleporter. While vlogging on the streets of China, the source of this video made an interesting encounter of a young local man. He appeared with both of his hands that suddenly started to glow all of a sudden, almost as if the man had some superpower. However, upon the realization of being filmed, the hooded man made a run for it, catching the recorder with curiosity enough to start chasing him. He used his teleportation abilities to quickly pass to the other side just when he was about to get run over by a bus. Translucent or invisible. Now, although this guy may not be actively teleporting or time traveling, he certainly has managed to find a way to hide itself. A motion sensor activated CCTV camera captured a moment when a silhouette of an unknown person walked past. Now, unlike a ghost or a spirit, its body was much more visible but almost invisible to the blind eye. This leaves behind the possibility of use of some invisibility cloak that may or may not have been activated by a remote device. Teleporting deer. The only explanation as to how animals may have started to teleport is by accidentally walking into one. A driver who was driving by the state lines when he noticed 2 deers that appeared and was surprised since there were no forest nearby. The mystery got even weirder when he noticed a 3rd deer that appeared as soon as the angle of view shifted, almost as if it was already there in the first place. This new development also partially answers that there could have been a teleportation portal that these deers curiously ended up entering. Phasing out of reality. Regardless of whether it's portals or time travelers, they usually just disappear out of the blue. An unknown person was spotted by a security camera showing him walking in a straight path where every step of the way seemed to be phasing more and more out of existence until he disappeared totally. With additional security cameras having picked up the same person not too far from this location, proves this wasn't a paranormal activity. Perhaps this is some advanced interdimensional travel device tech that is kept highly under wraps. Compromised teleportation. While touring in Beijing, China, a TikTok tourist filmed a woman who suddenly had some kind of glowing circle appear just behind her head. Puzzled by this happening to her out in the open, as well as recorded on camera, the woman attempted to flee the scene. Within seconds after running away, she jumped, and only within a fraction of a second, a much larger portal opened and the hooded woman disappeared. If you notice in the background, a bright spectrum of light in the much further distance appears just above the water before zipping towards the sky. This most certainly couldn't be a coincidence. Time traveler's warning tap. It is obvious that none of us can't ever predict series of events that can unfold even in near future, which is what makes this clip interesting. Sees TV footage in Turkey shows the moment when a middle-aged man who was busy looking around a fruit stall until a stranger tapped his shoulder while a truck was passing by. As the man turned around to investigate, coincidentally noticed a large iron door of the truck that, if he weren't warned, would have been struck by it. Clearly it was some time traveler who managed to save his life. Summoned girl. A bystander started filming this elderly woman who appeared suddenly out of the blue, and something about her seemed very off. Only a minute later into the incident, things got even weirder as a little girl suddenly appeared into existence holding hands with the woman as if nothing seemed weird about it.
Oh, hell no. That's crazy.
Now it remains unclear what happened here, but the recorder was convinced that the girl teleported or perhaps even time traveled into current existence. Alien window portal. A footage of an alien making and coming out of a portal is probably one of the most awaited ones so far. A security camera of a house that was under renovation caught a moment when a tiny alien made its way into the house after it casually appeared from a window instead of some portal opening. Interestingly, it didn't just end there, as the alien could be seen either moving at a lighting speed within the room or was teleporting. Still probably an advanced teleportation device that's up its sleeve. Taken out of existence. A live recording police traffic camera where traffic was going as usual until that changed. Two sedans that were moving not too far apart from each other that suddenly disappeared as they passed by water-filled drums and a traffic light pole. Unlike these two, the vehicles preceding went past by as per usual. What do you think happened to those two sedans? Where they glitched out of the matrix or get taken by some teleportation? Open discussion. CCTV footage from a shop in America shows a hooded man seemingly walking through a closed door while two homeless people sleep nearby. As he passes through, the camera's date stamp flickers from 2016 to 2019, adding a surreal, unsettling element to the black and white video. The man's movement causes a brief flash of light, followed by a slight blur in the footage, while the store lights flicker. Some speculate he could be a time traveler, while others suggest teleportation or crossing into another dimension. The eerie nature of the footage has led many to question whether this is a glitch or something far stranger. What do you think this may or may not have been? Do share with your opinion down in the comments.